The Gotva Prime essentially appeared out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting this weapon, and we don't have a normal variant. What we do have is an AOLAC, which is the Gotva only mutated by the Void. Not important. What is important? Brand new weapon. Let's check it out. Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today we're going to be checking out the Gotva Prime. This is the TennoCon 2023 weapon. If you actually watch TennoCon during the drops, you're going to be getting yourself the Gotva Prime for free with a catalyst installed. Or if you went to TennoCon, you're going to be getting yourself a code for the weapon as well. We're going to be putting it through its paces. I got a new player-friendly setup for the more casual or newer Tenno, but we also got the endgame setup for the veteran. That said, I will be taking my time and going through everything that you need to know. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the Gotva Prime. Let's begin by checking out how the weapon handles without any mods equipped, and for that, just a couple of our regular free shots. The AOLAC is your run-of-the-mill standard assault rifle with a hit scan attack, so you point, you shoot, and you should definitely win. There's no frills or anything special here. Again, there's a little bit of recoil, but not all that much. The fire rate is solid, the attack is very quick, and the weapon handles very well with an 84 magazine and a decent reload. It does have, however, one trick. Sometimes, just sometimes, without any explanation, the weapon red crits. There is no reason whatsoever for the weapon to red crit. There is no special reload mechanic, there is no body shot mechanic, there is no or headshot mechanic, there is no secondary fire mode or crosshairs mechanic. Nothing. And no, nothing in the flavor text, I'll show you that later. There's no reason for this weapon to red crit, yet sometimes it does. On body shot or headshot or whatever else. Now, we spent a little bit of time testing and we couldn't pinpoint the reason why the weapon headshots. Again, it's not about the number of bullets, it's not about reloading it, it's not about fire rate or multi-shot or where you shoot the enemy. It seems to have, roughly by my estimation, about a 5 to 6% chance of transforming any hit into a red crit, similar to how the Gavad gives you critical chance, in the sense that it just moves your critical chance to 300%. It doesn't offer you 300% extra. You get how that one works? Yes? Fantastic. Okay, so outside of that, there's really not a whole lot to complain about the weapon in terms of functionality. Again, decent reload, decent fire rate, it handles very easily, there's barely any recoil whatsoever to this one. As for the flavor text, it says the following. In the final days of the old war, long before clone rot set in, elite Grineer Commanders carried Gotva Prime rifles, designed to protect the surviving Orokin during the Warframe Rebellion. So a nice little bit of lore there, but again, nothing that would indicate the functionality of the weapon. Let's take a closer look at stats. Mod capacity 60 out of 60. I got this one from a code, and if you get it from a code, it's gonna come with the Orokin catalyst already installed, but you will still have to unlock the arcane slot and the excellence slot as well. Accuracy fantastic, 100. Ammo max 840, which for a semi-bullet hose is actually pretty good. Ammo pickup at 80, which again is nice. Fire rate at 13.33, magazine out of 84. Noise alarming. Punch through of 0.5 meters. By default, you're looking at half a meter. Reload on 2 seconds. Riven disposition of nada, because it's a brand new weapon. Trigger automatic. Critical chance 23% with a 2.5x critical multiplier and a status chance of 27%. The weapon, by default, is dealing puncture damage, and as you should know, all you gotta do is hover over the actual element. You're gonna be getting yourself 25% extra critical chance on your target if you stacked up those puncture procs to 5. Yes, so 5 every proc. You get how that one works. Of course, this is in addition to the 90% damage reduction for your enemies. Puncture procs are a whole lot more powerful nowadays. Next, we're gonna take a look at a standard rudimentary setup. Damage restoration, multi-shot, split chamber, and vigilante armaments, critical chance and critical damage through the use of vital sense and critical delay. Now, critical delay kind of nukes your fire rate at 20%, so you know what? It's not a bad idea to go for the standard point strike, but this one only gives you 150 instead of the 200. I would still keep critical delay for the standard hunter munitions approach, which is essentially what this is with rhyme rounds and malignant force. Rhyme rounds from spy missions, malignant force from corrupted vor in the void. This is more for the newer Tenno, right? If you're just getting into Warframe now, maybe you would stop by the convention, hello, and you decided to check out what Warframe is all about, you got yourself the codes, this is how you should build the weapon. Treat this build as a jumping off point, and I'm gonna show you performance. On level 120, Corrupted Heavy Wounds, I don't know what's the mastery rank requirement. One would assume if you get it with a code, there is no mastery rank requirement. Then on level 120s, these are far above sortie free, more than you need to clear, more than you will see in normal star chart. These are essentially the start of Steel Path, if you want to look at it like that. Go for headshots as per usual. Destroy. The old slash with Mumu, the old Mumu. Yeah, essentially vital slash through 100 munitions still works fantastically well today. With those added puncture procs, more critical chance. Critical delay brings your critical chance to 69%. Good job, D. And the 25% from the stacked puncture procs brings it to 94%. So you're gonna be getting yourself right now yellow hits primarily out of the weapon. You will see some orange hits. The orange hits are from Vigilante armaments, that chance to increase the tier of your crit. And the red crits that the weapon sometimes works out. Again, from my testing, it has about between a 5 and 6, maybe 7% chance for the hit to go to red. And that's pretty much it for a standard build. If you're more of a veteran, then you're looking at something like this with one big asterisk. Guys, do you love Bane mods? Of course not, don't be silly. Nobody really loves Bane mods. We're gonna go like so. But the best damage, bro, is gonna be through a Bane mod. The same build as before, but with Galvanized Chamber and Galvanized Aptitude. Galvanized Aptitude in place of Vigilante Armaments. It works fine, it's fantastic, it's beautiful. In the Arcane slot, you can go Primary Merciless or Deadhead. Or, if you play around with Cold and not make vital on the weapon, and instead get vital from, I don't know, Nourish, from Grendel, or perhaps a secondary Epitaph, because you don't mind having a secondary Prime or something like that, you can just build Cold on the weapon with Primary Frostbite. What is it called? No, Primary Frostbite is Arcane. What's the Primary Cold mod? Hold on. Prime Cryo rounds, and then go Primary Frostbite, and you're going to be getting yourself the additional critical damage, which is fantastic, and the multi-shot as well. It's up to you. However, this is the quote-unquote standard approach. And I'll show you performance with both a Bane mod and without a Bane mod. We're going to bump up the level to 165, and we're also going to be enabling the Steel Path modifiers as well, because it's only fair if you're using a quote-unquote a veteran setup. Yes, 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 fantastic. Did I press record? Yes, I did. It's gonna chomp even through high-level Steel Path targets, especially considering that that enemy didn't get hit by the full power of the weapon because I still gotta stack it. This is a galvanized setup. Yes, 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 yes. So, the weapon does perform. By all intents and purposes, it performs nicely. I have not a single complaint about the Gotva Prime, except maybe one. It's a little bit on the boring side. It's a bland assault rifle, but you know what? She looks hot, even though she likes standard stuff. It's still good enough, and I still enjoy using the weapon. Now, I'm gonna show you performance with a Bane mod as well, and then we're gonna carry our arses over to Steel Path for some actual gameplay. Though, honestly, I don't see much of a point in it nowadays since we got these Steel Path modifiers in the Simulacrum, but still, gameplay is gameplay, and Simulacrum is Simulacrum. So we're gonna replace like so you can see the difference. Of course, the difference in slashes, in the value of the slashes will be significant due to how this faction modifier works. Again, first target, I need to get some stacks, and now without the flat damage, I need Primary Merciless stacks even more. Flat damage is still fantastic, people. You still got hazard on your weapon. Normally, I aim for 2 sources of flat damage, but you can go with 1 as well. Take a look at that. 80-something thousand, 200,000? Did I say that right? 69,000, of course. This is the performance you can expect out of the weapon. Honestly, you can easily clear everything in Steel Path, no problem whatsoever. But let's check out some actual gameplay, shall we? Welcome to the Void, my friends. Now we're gonna be using Gara. You know why? Because you're gonna be getting yourself Gotva Prime for free if you watch TennoCon over on Twitch with the drops, with the everything. So, you gotta know how to build Gara, which is one of the most amazing warframes in the game, so I'm gonna link you a full and detailed guides in the cards right now. However, I'm just gonna be using her abilities to survive for now. Also, it's not enough to know how to build Gara, you also gotta know how to build her stat stick, because if you build a proper stat stick, she's all the more powerful because you're gonna be having an easier time stacking. And the stat stick is a different kettle of fish. Look at this one. This one actually with the skin looks all made out of glass, so it fits her quite nicely. Now, with the segue to Gara done, let's test out the actual weapon and see what she can do. I'm gonna be using that 1/2 meter Warframe Punch. By the way, something like Shred on the weapon, Prime Shred, woohoo! Absolutely fantastic, especially when you're firing down a corridor like so. Absolutely annihilating whatever stands before you. Or if you can clump them up with a Nidus or a Vauban or whatever else. Careful, because ragdoll abilities actually work differently than normal clump up abilities, something like Kora. So do bear that one in mind. How's the weapon performance? For normal level steel path, you gotta be kidding me. It absolutely shreks, no problem whatsoever. Now granted, when you reach level cap, it's not gonna be doing as good, definitely not, but honestly, you don't really need more performance than this. Standard hunter munitions slash setup, absolutely wrecking whatever stands before you. Now, of course, I can stay here and keep killing these fodder enemies all the live long day, but it's not really gonna prove much of anything else now, is it? You know what will prove something? What about an acolyte fight? There we go, finally a flash. There we go. What was the one that does the bubble? I'm afraid of the guy that does the bubble, I forgot.
Don't remember.
Violence? No, I think it was Mania. Don't think it was Violence. Just gonna roll regardless. Are you the guy? You don't look like the guy. Oh, this is the guy that does the swishing, and then the swishing has the frost thing, and then I'm impale you with my stick kind of thing. So performance-wise, pretty much what I expected from this one, considering that most of its damage is coming from damage over time, and these acolytes have a cap on how many instances of status effects you can have on them. There you go. So essentially you get 4 and 4. 4 procs each.
Stand still so I can shoot you in the head. The performance is not fantastic versus acolytes. This is the way to do this guy. You can't shoot me. You can't poke me if I slowly move away from you. This is basically the mindset of an average Warframe melee player. Holy balls, the target is moving. Let me get closer to press E. This is just getting silly now.
I'm not doing as much damage as I could because I no longer have my arcane stacks, so that's why it's going a little bit slower than it should. But you get the general idea. This is kind of the performance you can expect out of the weapon versus Acolyte. It doesn't do a fantastic job versus Acolytes. Versus Acolytes, what you need is heavy-duty collect damage, my friends. A whole lot of it, not procs necessarily. So if you want to see a, let's say an Acolyte killer, link in the cards right now. It can blow up an Acolyte. Pretty much you blink and it's gone. Conclusions for the Gotva Prime. This one, my friends, is a standard rudimentary assault rifle. And apart from that red crit, there's really nothing special about it. But you know what? It doesn't need to be something special. Especially if you're more of a newer player coming to the game, the Gotva Prime will take you through the lower mastery ranks, no problem, right into Steel Path. Though granted, it's not the most exciting weapon in Warframe. Trust me, there are a lot more exciting weapons. Link the cards right now for more exciting weapons. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe only if you enjoy the content. If you got any feedback for me, let me know in the comment section down below. And enjoy TennoCon, my friends. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.